If you are wanting an extraordinary life, you're gonna have to do extraordinary things. And that means you're gonna have to push past your fears, your limitations, your smallness to really embody who you came here to be. If you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably a woman that feels like you are here on earth for a mission, that there's more to life, but maybe there are some things holding you back. And today's episode is going to be all around how embodiment can support you with these limitations and this small thinking that is stopping you from being your greatest self, your best self. And we're going to go deep into how embodiment works in your body, how it actually allows you to have better health, better wealth, better relationships, a deeper spiritual connection with yourself. It will change every bit of every aspect of your life. It is magical. I believe that this is the magical sauce that every woman needs in their life, especially if you're here to be your most authentic, best self. And so I want to get into, I've talked about this before, but I want to keep repeating what embodiment means. Embodiment means inhabiting yourself fully through every dimension of your being, your mind, your mental body, your physical body, your emotional body, your energetic body, allowing the truth of you, your essence, your soul, your spirit. There's many ways to say it, your higher self to move through every body in your being. Like I said, mental, physical, emotional, energetic. When your truest self comes alive through all dimensions of your being, you live a life that's truly and deeply in alignment. You're no longer searching for external things to tell you who you need to be. You're no longer depending on the external world to dictate what decisions you make in your life, whether you feel confident making this decision, whether you go for your dreams or not, whether you take care of your health in a certain way or not, how you handle your finances. Everything comes from a place of being in energetic fulfillment. And I believe, and I've asked many women on all of my sessions, what is it that you truly crave? And it is the same answer almost every time: peace, joy, happiness, love. We're all after that. We all want to feel that. But the work to embody that is something that is important for us to be devoted to. And it's important for us to come into a space where we're not just in this survival energy all the time, but have a safe space for us to get out of the survival energy, for you to get out of the survival energy, and to be able to hear yourself. So, why embodiment? Because if you're trying to go from this place that you're in right now, this limited state where your brain never turns off and your body rarely feels safe enough to be still, where there's this inner conflict happening all the time, where there's this scarcity consciousness running your life, and you're being an absolute control freak about everything in your life. If you're trying to go from that to the peace, the joy, the love, the safety, the emotional freedom that you're craving, the self-trust that you're craving, the confidence that you're craving, you're going to have to do the work. And the work is not talking about it with your therapist. Okay. The work is actually in the body. So we're going to break this down a little bit here. I want to give you an example of this. So when an emotion feels like it's too much, too fast, too soon, and you never got the ability to fully express that emotion, emotion is energy in motion, what happens is that energy got stuck in your body. It gets stuck in your organs. It gets stuck in your fascia, in your tissues. It's energy that needs to move. And most of us didn't have the skill to actually learn how to move this energy. So it got stuck. And now when that energy is stuck in the body, your body knows, because your body is so intelligent. It has its own super intelligent consciousness. It knows that it's storing something, and it will give you symptoms over and over and over again, because your body's so wise and always wants you to come into a state of completion, a state of wholeness, a state of homeostasis, right? Like, think about when you get a wound, right? When you cut yourself, what does your body do? You don't have to tell your body, heal. Your body knows how to heal. Same thing with emotions. Your body knows how to heal emotional wounding. And so it takes our conscious awareness with healing in this way, because it took our conscious awareness to freeze the emotion in the body. So now we need the conscious awareness to unfreeze this emotion in the body. And so your body's going to show you this through symptoms. That lump in your throat that you feel when you have fear, or the tightness in your chest that you feel when you feel like you're afraid of your financial situation, or the tightness in your stomach that you feel when there's confrontation between you and your partner or a friend. Maybe the tense shoulders that you have, where it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world. All of these are symptoms that your body is showing you, telling you, hey, there's energy here that needs to be completed. It's not going to the next chiropractor. It's not doing more physical therapy. It's not working out more. It's getting into your body through somatics and embodiment. Somatics and embodiment are words that you will hear me use interchangeably, because they are pretty much the same thing. Somatics means using the body in the soma. The soma is your body. And so, to give you an example of this and how it happens through your whole life experience, let's say you're 9 years old and you come home. Your voice is shaky, you're teary-eyed. You just got made fun of in gym class, and you're coming home finally where you feel like you might have some safety to move through this energy. Your little body was trembling because there's just so much pain, and that felt so big and so fast, and you had no idea how to hold it all. And then you finally try to tell your mother about it. And your mom says, "Stop crying. Don't let it get to you. You're strong." And in that moment, the body didn't feel safe enough to fully process that energy. So what did it do? It froze it in the body. It protected you. You swallowed that hurt. You learned that your feelings are weak and that you need to be a strong woman. One instance, right? Now, let's say you're 33. And when it's time for you to actually speak up on how you feel, you swallow your truth, almost like you can't get it out. It's stuck, right? You don't feel safe because you don't want to be a burden. Because in that moment, you felt like a burden. You felt like my emotions are not important. I need to swallow them. And maybe now you try to be the strong one in everything all the time. You bypass your emotions, you bypass your need for rest. You're always needing to be productive because you need to be the strong one, because you learned at 9 years old that your emotions are weak and you need to be strong and just get over it. But then you're living your life and you realize there's something holding you back. You can't really pinpoint. And then you're wondering why journaling or talking about it with your therapist isn't freeing you. That is because the body is remembering what the mind tried to forget. The body knows. It keeps the score. That's a beautiful book, The Body Keeps the Score, that talks more about this and trauma in the body. But when we talk about trauma, the way we like to talk about it in embodiment is just frozen tension, right? Because when you were 9 years old and that happened, you might not see that as trauma, but it is. The body is receiving that as a trauma response, as a freeze response. And now it has all this survival energy stuck, and it's really creating actions and behaviors and choices in your life rooted in that survival energy. And so embodiment, somatics, what we do in my work with my clients is we get into the body. We get to the core of that energy in the body to heal it, to complete it. And I use many different practices and tools that I've learned through my coaching certification, my feminine embodiment certification, as well as lived experience with clients, different techniques to go into the body. And then we also access the psyche through the body to find even deeper completion of certain experiences that left a mark on your body that are creating all of these symptoms: the control freak, feeling fear all the time, an inability to follow your dreams, an inability to leave that job and start that business, an inability to, if you're a business owner, take your business to the next level, an inability to make more money. All of that is just energy that's stuck in your body, creating these thought loops that are holding you back. And so a lot of women come to me after they've done therapy. I have countless calls with women that are like, yeah, I've done therapy, I've listened to the podcast, I've read the books, but no matter what I've done, I still feel like there's something that is holding me back. And that right there is when you know that you're ready for embodiment. And so the thing with therapy is that therapy is a top-down approach. It's a mind to body approach, right? So it's all around thoughts, stories, making meaning about what happened to you, understanding why you feel the way that you feel. It's all using your logical brain. And there's only so much that that will do. Because the thing is, when emotions and tension were stored in the body, that was nonverbal. So talking about it doesn't actually release it. Now, somatics, embodiment, is going from body to mind, going from sensation, understanding your nervous system, regulating your nervous system, connecting to movement, to the breath, feeling in the body, connecting to your internal felt senses. Once you have connection to that, once you move through different layers of the frozen tension is the tension that was held in your body when emotions weren't completed. There's layers of that built upon your truth, your ability to hear yourself. That's why we have to go through multiple layers through my liberation process to move through those different layers to actually access what's true in your body, your intuition, your inner knowing, your gut feeling, right? To access more of that so that you can actually hear what's true. And the thing about once you access truth beneath all those layers of frozen tension is that once you recognize that there's something that feels so true in your body, the resonance of truth, like the energy of truth is so powerful that you will know that it's your truth. So when it's time for you to take action in your life based on this new truth, this understanding of yourself where you can actually hear yourself, when you take action in your life, what's going to happen is you're taking it from a place of trusting yourself and being fully confident in yourself because you access that deeper level of intuitive knowing, that deeper level of truth in your body. So now you're no longer living your life from this place of an inability to make decisions because you're not confident in yourself, but instead you're making decisions in your business, in your career, in your finances, in your love life, in your health life from this place of absolute self-trust and confidence because you know your truth. That's what truth is. Truth is just inner knowing. Truth is this inner genius that lives inside of you. You've probably already felt your intuition in certain parts of your life, or maybe you've had a memory where you're like, wow, my intuition told me this, but instead I did that. The reason why you did that is because you listened to your survival energy and you didn't listen to your intuition. So the power of embodiment and somatics is that, like, as we continue to do this work, you start to feel more and more and more of your truth. And then you start leading your life in that way. You start changing your choices, your habits, your behaviors. And it's really magical what happens. Like for me, for instance, before doing all this work, I was really struggling with a lot of body image issues. And it felt never ending. And I tried doing all the journal prompts and I tried moving through the fear on a logical way. And I tried listening to YouTubes and reading books about body image. And I went to therapy and nothing worked. There was this deep self-hatred that I had towards my body. Now, once I started doing the embodiment work and I started to connect to my truth, I realized that each time that I accessed my truth was leading me down the path of actually being able to feel healthy with my body. So, first, that started with connecting to my truth. And my truth was like, it's time to move and get away from all of these friends that you have that all they do is party and drink all the time, and to start healing your body. That was my first step. My truth gave me that first step, that next step. Then, when I was in Sedona, when I moved away, if you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. My truth led me to know that, hey, it's time to heal your gut. It's time to clean up your products at home. It's time to adopt a low toxic lifestyle, and it's time to go through a gut cleanse. And I listened to that and I did that. And my body started to show me the results of that. I started to feel so much better, so much more energized. My inflammation was going down. Then my body was like, hey, it's actually time to take a break from going to the gym all the freaking time. You need to do other movements like yoga and just connecting to your body and moving in nonlinear ways. And so I did that for a season. And each season, I accessed my truth. And that's the beauty of the body, because the body is connected to this season currently and what you need right now. And it will reveal to you the next best step, right? Instead of you trying to skip a shit ton of steps, it will show you what is that next step in that staircase of you climbing up and actually feeling whole, complete, peaceful, joyful within yourself. And it's a beautiful journey because you're not logically building these steps on what you think, but you're actually listening to what your body needs. So each step led me down a different path, down a different path. And I went through a season where I went to the gym probably like once or twice a week because that's what felt good in that season. And in that season, I knew, because I connected to my truth, I was like, one day I'm going to go back to the gym and be more consistent. But right now, my body needs this break. My body needs to heal. My body needs to rebuild a relationship with itself, with health, with food, with the gym. And I did that for a season. And I felt it. I knew that I would get back to it and be more consistent with my health journey, but that is what my body needed at that time. And then now recently, I'm feeling, because I'm connecting more to my body too, my body is like, okay, it's time to be more consistent in the gym. And I've been going to the gym for the past month for 4 to 5 times a week. I haven't done that in years, and it feels so good. Whereas before, in other seasons, I would try to go to the gym for that amount of time, and it did not feel good because it was not what was meant for me during that time. So now that I've listened to these steps and I've been patient with my body, I'm going to the gym consistently. I'm feeling so good. My abs are starting to poke out a little bit again. My body is tightening up. I'm having so much fun in the gym. Whereas before, I wouldn't have fun because I was so stuck in those patterns of self hatred and body image issues. And now I love my fucking body because I listened to her and I gave her the space to heal. This is an example of what embodiment will bring into your life. It's no longer second guessing everything. It's no longer being like, well, what should I do? What should I not do? It's your body revealing to you what that next step is for you. And it's up to you to be obedient to that, to be in devotion to that, and to trust. So embodiment builds a lot of self-trust. It builds a lot of connection to your inner wisdom. And honestly, peace, joy, happiness, all of that comes from listening to yourself, not from doing anything fucking external. It comes from listening to yourself, right? So this is why this work is so important. If you're constantly living in that survival energy and like just always go, 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 logic only, just in the state of fear all the time, you have to think about what is this doing in your life? How is it messing with your relationships? How is it messing with your relationship with money? You can't even think of all the limitless way that you can make money because you're stuck in survival brain, only making money in the way that you think it's going to make it for your survival and your safety. Whereas when you bring that safety into your body and you know that you are safe no matter what, you start to also feel a deep connection to God, to source, and you know that you are always provided for. That survival energy is not always going, it's not going to run your life anymore. You're going to start making money from a place of true connection with yourself, of truth, And that has also been a lot with my relationship with money. My body, my connection to myself has laid the path over and over and over again as to like, what's next with my money situation? What's next with my money situation? What's next? And right now, currently, my body finally has shown me, after healing so much ancestral trauma, which embodiment allows you to do. I've healed a lot around my culture and, coming from a Cuban background and just having this like imprint in my body of scarcity and poverty. I've had to heal through that for so many years since I started my business 7 years ago. I mean, to even have the courage to start my business 7 years ago is insane for the amount of financial trauma that lives in my lineage, right? So I've had to work through that over and over and over and over again. And through embodiment, I've been able to really heal so much of that ancestral financial trauma. And now my body's actually, it communicated with me. It was so powerful. This last cycle on my last bleed, embodiment also helps you connect to your womb, and your womb will show you and your body will show you. It's fucking magic. It's fucking magic the way that it works. But my body this last cycle showed me like, okay, you're ready to really start honing in on your wealth consciousness again, because I've had little glimpses of that, and I have glimpses of like getting myself into a consciousness of wealth and then having to like go back to like scarcity and heal a lot around scarcity and a lot around not trusting and a lot around like the energy of struggle, and then come back to wealth consciousness. And my body has showed me like, now you're back, like you're ready to create this, that you have enough safety, you've made enough room in your body to not feel like building your wealth is a threat to you anymore. So now you're ready to take that action. And it's really fucking powerful. It's almost like you're in this movie and you're the character of this movie, and you're kind of just observing all these seasons, all these steps being laid out for you. Like life feels very magical from this place, rather than always trying to survive. When you're always trying to survive, you're not making space to hear what's true and to hear what's next. So think about what it's doing in your relationships to constantly be in that survival energy. Think about what it's doing in your relationship in general with your partner. If you're in partnership, whether you're dating or maybe even your friendships, like if you're constantly in this survival energy, you're going to have anxious attachment towards friends. You're going to be waiting for the shoe to drop in your relationships. Things are always going to feel like a threat. Is that actually how you want to live? Probably fucking not. And there is another way. Think about motherhood. If you're a mother, if you're constantly always just short tempered with your children and like yelling and screaming and just like you don't have the capacity to hold the discomfort that comes through having children, that is really affecting the way that you raise your children. Now you're giving that trauma to your children, and now your children are going to treat their children that way and treat other people that way, because you haven't done the work to expand your capacity to feel your emotions, to heal from the trauma, so that when things do arise in your field, you can actually handle them with conscious awareness and calmness, rather than being short-tempered, angry, and yelling all the fucking time, right? So this is really important, because if you really, really, really want to live that life that feels purposeful, loving, joyful, peaceful, you're going to have to get out of surviving all the time. If your energy right now is focused on surviving because of all this tension that's been frozen in your body. So we got to do the fucking work to liberate ourselves. You deserve this. You're worthy of this. You can do this, right? So now that I've explained to you embodiment, I want to also go into, what do embodiment sessions look like? What does a coaching container look like? So first, we'll talk just about the session. When you come to me, we're going to get really, really clear about the obstacle that is holding you back the most in this season of your life. When we look at that obstacle, I will guide you through an internal process. I will guide you through an embodiment process. Now, embodiment, there's so many facets to it, and people think that it's just dancing in fluid, sexy ways, and it's not that in our sessions. We're not dancing. Sometimes we might, but we're not. We're going deep into that energy that's holding you back, We're looking layers and layers and layers beneath it. We're moving through that energy. We're finally freeing up that energy with the liberation process that I use. I also have a limiting belief process that allows the body to tap into limiting beliefs and free up the energy associated with those limiting beliefs. There's many little processes that I use, but my favorite one is the liberation process, where we go layer to layer to layer to layer. We undo that energy, we access your truth. And from that place of accessing your truth, which is when you access a state of calmness and peace and flow and love and joy in your body, we then come up with an action step to take care of that obstacle that's holding you back. So now that we freed up energy in your body, what are we doing with that? How are we taking action to support and integrate what just came through for you? And this starts to lay out the path for what's next. Now, if we're doing a coaching container together, which is 3, 4, 5, 6 months of us coaching together, what this is going to look like is we're going to get clear on where you are. We're going to get clear on what it is that you want. What do you want out of your life? Let's get really fucking clear on that. Can you claim your desires? Can we actually claim what you want? And then we're going to look at what are all the little things that are in the way of you actually having that desire, of you actually becoming that woman that you desire to be, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your wealth, whether it's in your relationships, your career, your business, where you are, where you want to be, what's stopping you. Through our embodiment practice, through our embodiment sessions, like I just mentioned, what we do, we're going to clear and move through, open up energy, let go, release all that's holding you back so you can make more space in your body for what it is that you actually want in your life, that woman that you desire to become. So we do that for a couple of months. However, I will say, disclaimer is that this journey takes patience, and you will see a huge fucking transformation after the 4 months, 3, 4 months, whatever time we work through together. But my intention is to give you tools and to give you resources and to give you the opportunity for your nervous system to finally regulate and relax and feel safe becoming the woman that you desire to become. Your actions will start to shift. The decisions that you make will be rooted in more confidence and truth. And you will see your whole reality start to shift. Now, everyone's body is really different. I have women that come to me with so much tension from so much trauma that they've had since they were really little children. That process is going to take more patience. I have women that have come to me with a little less trauma, but things that have still happened that are still holding them back. That process might be a little bit faster. Every person's process is different. So it takes patience, it takes curiosity, it takes devotion, and it takes excitement knowing that, wow, there is a way for me to become the most embodied, truest version of myself who has a beautiful relationship to my health and to my body, that has beautiful relationships in general, that has the ability to manage my wealth with peace and calm, that has the ability to run my business with true connection to my intuition and creativity. All of these things are available to you, but it takes you making the choice to make it happen and to let yourself be supported and held and guided. Because when you look back a couple months from now and you've done this work and you think about the woman that decided to take the action to actually do this work, you're going to be so fucking proud of her, and you're going to be so fucking proud of yourself. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. How can we live a life that we are so fucking excited to live, fulfilling, that's fulfilling, that we are so proud of ourselves for? That is what this work is about. And last thing that I'll say, ChatGPT ain't gonna work. You can try putting ChatGPT all day long, like, hey, can you be my somatic therapist? And ChatGPT will be like, yeah, these are the steps. Let me tell you, I've done research on ChatGPT to see what it says. That shit ain't even close to the work that we are doing in our sessions or also in my retreats. We do a lot of embodiment work in my retreats. That ain't even close because ChatGPT doesn't know your body. right? ChatGPT doesn't know what you've gone through. You don't even know what you've gone through until you tap into the body and go into your unconscious, right? So, like, you're coming to ChatGPT from the survival energy without even tapping into your unconscious, and you're just getting false advice that doesn't even fucking work. So I just want to remind you that, because that's really important. AI is like a big thing right now. People are outsourcing their power more to AI. And I wish that it could give you all the answers, but it's not, and it won't, because you have the answers within, and you need a safe space to go to those answers, and also a safe space from a professional that actually knows how to take you into your psyche, that knows how to take you into your soma, into your body, and clear the energy that's holding you back. So stop giving your fucking power away to ChatGPT, because it ain't intelligent, as intelligent as we want it to be when it comes to healing, right? Can it replace your therapist? Probably. Can it replace the deep, deep work? Absolutely fucking not. So I hope that this brought some awareness to you as to what embodiment is, how it can support your life. And if you're wanting to give this a try or give this a go, you can go ahead and check my link below. You'll have a embodiment portal application that you can sign up for. And whether we do one session together or we decide to coach for a long period of time, we can kind of navigate that after you apply. But I would love to connect with you and support you in your journey, get really clear on where you are, where you want to be, and create an action plan that will support you in actually healing and seeing shifts and changes in your life. So you can check that below. And then last but not least, we have the Wildly Liberated Retreat happening in Costa Rica, January 10th through the 15th, 2026. Name a better way to start the year than to be fully immersed in an embodiment journey, not just with yourself, but with a group of other women. We're going to be doing practices like breath work. We're going to be sitting in cacao ceremony. We're going to be doing sacred rage rituals. There's going to be so much so many powerful embodiment experiences, and the transformation is going to be so amazing. You'll get to come into the retreat with an intention of where you are, same thing, where you want to be. And in the midst of those 5 days, we do deep ass sacred work to initiate you into the woman that you are working towards being. It is powerful as fuck. You will come home with a newfound sense of yourself, and you will take action in your life in a completely different way. This will be a whole rebirth that will affect every area of your life. So check the link below. January 10th through the 15th, 2026 in Costa Rica, in the jungles. We're going to have so much fucking fun. It's going to be so good. And I'm excited to hopefully talk to you soon about that. Check those links out. If you haven't already, leave a review, subscribe, or like this wherever you're at. And I'm so grateful to have you here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Mwah.